Hey everybody. New phone. Who dis? This squirrel. This like squirrel. Hey guy. Guess he's more brown than anything. Anyway. Distract what? So it's been a while. Kinda had device problems and a birthday and chasing down the last of the summer, and I'm way overdue for an update. So, yeah, there's all the stuff that no one ever took. I got potatoes that have died off, so those are ready to pull out of the soil. Got plenty of yellow pear tomato and this, what's it called? Cherry baby. That's been really productive. The Bloody Butcher, not so much. I've gotten maybe a dozen tomatoes off that this season. But, yeah, you can see, like the pumpkins haven't done much. The tomatoes have, they've done their thing. They're getting up there. That Chupin de Molinalco tomatillo is really getting up there. But you can see we've got Prairie Fire tomato ready to come in. We've got plenty of these apricot zebra tomatoes. They're getting a little smaller in the end of the season. I think I'm going to top these plants to encourage them to kind of finish up. But we've been getting a lot of these yellow tomatillo, the Chupin de Molinalco. It's been surprisingly productive. It's the first year I've grown those, I think I've mentioned before, but they've turned out to be really nice. They plump up a lot more than the green, the gigante that we grow here. Doesn't really plump up very well, but the majority of these Chupin de Molinalco ones have really gotten large. Hey. And every now and then I'll find them kind of just dropped in here. Hey, we have a melon. Sweet. Looks like it's getting chewed up by something, but that's more than I thought I'd get, to be frank. My name's not Frank. But yeah, you can see these are all pretty full, and they're pretty good about falling off when they're ready. Like their stem right now, like this one here, has got a bit to go. It's still got a stem that hasn't dried out, but do I have an example here? Yeah, like this one here, starting to turn black. It's drying out. That'll probably be a couple days before that's ready to come off. And they just come off real easy. Here's one. Come off real simple. No struggle. Nice and yellow. Has the tacky finish. This one's starting to get attacked by something that actually looks like maybe eggs. I'll give that a little wash. Anyway, we're not here to harvest stuff. Just to look at the state of things. So the the carrots have actually been starting to develop a bit. I've pulled a few out, so you can see them in there. And they're really short, but they're nice and plump. So really not a lot of complaints there. And then the melons just kind of grown through this. The mustard has gone fully to seed. I'm pretty much just letting it go for pollinators right now. I pulled a bunch of the seed pods off into a bag, and I'm gonna try and harvest those seeds and store them. They're really tiny though. They're nothing like yellow mustard seeds, so I think maybe next year I'll look into yellow mustard and grow that instead. Can only hope it's rain. And then we got the broccoli I let go to flower, just to help out pollinators. The bumblebees, especially this time of year, seem to really struggle with finding nectar in stores. So just kind of letting it go for them rather than yank it out. You can see some of the yellow ox heart. So we've been having this problem with blossom end rot on the yellow oxheart, which has made it really disappointing to try and harvest, because pretty much any time they're ready to go, I mean, this one's even starting to turn a little orangey red. It's been on there so long. You get that blight, and if you cut into it, it's moldy on the inside. And I actually pulled one in when it was green, and I let it counter ripen, and it didn't have these spots. And by the time it ripened on the counter, it was all black on the bottom and was moldy all the way down halfway in. So for whatever reason, these just didn't work out this year. That's all right. I'll try again next year. For now, distraction for the squirrels. Hopefully leave the rest of our stuff alone. Yeah, looks like we caught some kind of fungus, mildewy fungus thing on the watermelon, and it caused dieback on a couple of the vines. It's pretty disappointing, but that's what happens in the garden. I've got one here that came off the vine. I mean, these don't ripen once they come off. There's no counter ripening of melons. This one though looks like the vine is either died or it's ready. So I'm gonna pull that out of there. Maybe that one's ripe. We got another one down here still alive on the vine. The tendril on that one hasn't really dried up yet, so it's nowhere near ready to harvest. The celery's entered late season. It's probably really bitter, probably not worth eating. Gotta harvest more kale. Got more melons growing over here. I think is this Persian? I think this might be Persian melon. Oh no, yeah, small Persian melon. So it's just starting to put them out. I don't know that they're actually going to ripen. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a really late frost. Get lucky. You can see the ground cherries have escaped their habitat. Definitely, if I'm growing these next year, they're going to be in containers in their own area. They are just too crazy. And then the Moonglow tomato, we've got a bunch ready to go there. The cucumbers are still going strong. You can see the Honey Plus. I mean, we've got some dieback on the leaves, but that's to be expected this late in the season with the weather being so strange. Like, it's really dry right now. We're in full drought mode, so I'm glad I put the irrigation in, because that's really saving my butt. Oh yeah, you can see some Brussels sprouts getting going. That's been cool to watch. I would be happy if I could get some harvested, but I'm really not holding my breath. We got another Costa Rican sweet pepper that started after pulling the two giant ones the other week. 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks, that time ago when I made the short. And then the Mad Hatters are finally turning red, which it's taken them a long time. They've been pretty much, this kind of weird lime green color all year. But yeah, they're just starting to turn red, so I expect them to be delicious. They get kind of this tomatoey, fruity flavor that we really like. And then we got a Brager cucumber hanging there, along with the runty little guy down here. You can see we've got some fungus that's attacked, but doesn't seem to be spreading, so I'm hoping that's the beginning and end of that story. Oh, we've got a tomatillo in here. Alright, so sorry, I'm really close to you now. It's going to be really loud. So the Gigante tomatillo, not so giant this year. Not really certain what's going on with that. Although I'll take this over last year. Last year we had a bunch of husks that weren't filled. So at least this time we have filled husks, but they are remarkably tiny compared to what they usually do. Yeah, otherwise, we got a big guy hiding in there on the cucumber side. I pulled the Thai chili peppers. Collected what was in there when they started turning yellow. I wish I had shared a picture of that, but I didn't. So stay tuned next year. I'm growing them again, I'm sure. Yeah, this is the Oxheart, the other side of it. We've got a lot of green tomatoes, which actually works out in my favor because I've got a coworker who is interested in green tomatoes for a chili project. So at least that'll go to some use and it won't be a complete waste of space. And then of course the midnight snack, just continuing to crank out tomatoes. It's yeah, my most productive tomato plant. Although the apricot zebra over here is holding close second and might overtake it. We'll see. Hey, Ash Bud. Otherwise, the asparagus thankfully hung on. I pruned the plum and the peach. The strawberries have pretty much given it up for the year. I did manage to get some to start in an adjacent container, though, by letting the runners go, so that's been cool. The bunching onions I kind of forgot about, but, they're definitely ready to come in if we want to bring them. Oh, yeah, and then sesame. Have you ever seen a sesame plant? So, yeah, I grew some black sesame just for the heck of it. Wasn't really sure what to expect. And they're kind of cool looking. It's an ornamental that might just be fun. And then, let's see, we've got the fig over here. I'll have to insulate that guy for winter. And then we got our little flower garden of zinnias. The chamomile has pretty much died back. You can see the chamomile leaves there, but its flowers have all died off. And then the rose is springing back from when it was transplanted as a bare root, so I thought that would die off, but no, it survived, so that's great. And then, yeah, so this here is a volunteer tomatillo from last year. It's a gigante. You can see another one right there. And then there's this sad little one next to the tree, which, just kind of demonstrates the drought conditions we're in right now. These are very hardy plants, and it is suffering hardcore right next to this tree. And it's in a low spot, so that's really not encouraging. They say we're supposed to have a little La Nina winter. I'm not really sure if that's going to pan out to be true. But, kind of in the vein of mulberry just keeps showing up, there's another mulberry. And I think that's milkweed over there that's turning yellow. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. So, yeah, that's been kind of an interesting year for volunteers. More interesting than usual. Which maybe just means it's been pretty boring here for volunteers, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention earlier. And here's that other mulberry. But, yeah, I'm not going to do the whole tour here, but the blackberries are going strong. We're not getting a lot of production out of them. The raspberries have gone completely nuts. Just too many raspberries. I've given up trying to pick them. Oh, wow. Distraction. The cherry is starting to die back. I can't tell if that's due to the drought or if that's just the end of season for it. And then you can see Berry, the kiwi berry way up front, has finally shook hands with itself again. I haven't rebuilt the arbor yet. That's something that's still on my to-do list. But it is good to see that it is healthy after all that destruction. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I got for you. Oh, one other thing. So this is the first year I've grown this Aji mango pepper, and I'm really surprised at how good these are. They are fruity, but they're also very hot. Like the seeds and the pith carry a lot of heat. Not like, incredible amount of heat, but enough to take notice, like a weak habanero. Yeah, and then we have a lot of debris falling in the pool, which is making it difficult to keep it clear. I should have taken it down by now, but for some reason I'm thinking that we can sell it to someone and that the buyer might want to see it full just to prove it's not leaking. I don't know. Am I being foolish? History says probably. But that's all I got for you today. Hope you're all having a great time. Hope you're all healthy. And say bye, Ash. Ashley, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Yeah, well, that's what happens. Later.